Over time, I have seen so many common patterns with injuries and burnout occurring in dancers. And more importantly, I've seen how proper education and care can completely turn things around. Hey everyone, and welcome to Unchoreographed. I'm your host, Dr. Jenna Loewer, a physical therapist, dance medicine specialist, and founder of On Point Wellness and Rehab. I've made it my life's mission to help dancers build thriving, sustainable careers without sacrificing their health or love of the art. I've got over 13 years of experience working with dancers in the clinic, and now it's time to branch out and reach even more of you. I'm so excited to have you here on this very first episode with me. This podcast is for dancers who are wanting to build strong and sustainable careers while also figuring out how to take care of their bodies and their minds. Whether you are a pre-professional, a student, a seasoned performer, or just somebody who loves to dance, this space is for you. We are going to have candid, honest, and sometimes uncomfortable conversations about what it really takes to prioritize your health in a world that is often asking you to push through pain, exhaustion, and burnout. This industry needs a revolution, and we're going to tackle these outdated practices head on. No more normalizing toxic traditions. It is time to rewrite the rules and make your health a priority. Today, I'm kicking off Unchoreographed with an overview of what you can expect in the episodes to come, why I created it, and how it can empower you to thrive both on and off the stage. We'll also have a little chat about what dance medicine is and why I believe it's such an essential part of every dancer's journey. All right, so why did I pick the name Unchoreographed? I'm sure that you know the dance world often feels perfectly rehearsed and structured on the surface, but behind the scenes, there's a lot that doesn't go according to plan, and we often get thrown into situations that we are just not prepared for. Things like injuries, burnout, performance anxiety, just to name a few. And you know what? That is okay. Dance and life can be messy and unpredictable. This podcast is about embracing that and giving you the tools to navigate those unpredictable moments. In my 13 years of doing this, I have seen far too many dancers get sidelined by injuries that could have been prevented or were just poorly managed. That's why I've made it my mission to bridge the gap between the art of dance and the science of health. This podcast exists to tackle these topics that need to be talked about but aren't always. Plus, we'll be chatting with some incredible guests along the way who are my friends and colleagues, and I cannot wait for you to soak up all the knowledge that they are going to share with you. You might also be wondering, who is this person? Why should I listen to her? And I think it's really important for me to share a little bit of my journey with you. So I was a dancer myself growing up, but I knew that I was never going to be a dancer professionally. That wasn't in the cards for me. But I loved the world of dance, and I knew that I wanted to stay immersed in it somehow. I very vividly remember listening to my dance teacher talk about anatomy in our class and just being fascinated by it. And that's really all it took. I decided that PT was going to be my career, and thankfully, even without a backup plan, that all worked out. I started working in dance medicine while I was still in school. My college roommate at the time told me, "Hey, you got to meet my PT. She works with dancers. You are going to love her." And it turns out she was right. Shout out to Sue Callan Harris up there in Rochester, New York. She was my inspiration for all of this. And I landed my final clinical rotation with her and was hired on after that. When I was there, I got experience working with the Rochester City Ballet. We worked with Garth Vagan Dance Institute. I worked with the musicians at the Eastman School of Music, and then a ton of dancers from various local studios. It truly set me up to be the clinician that I am today, and is really what jump-started this little passion of mine, or big passion of mine, I should say. So in 2013, I moved to Virginia, and I was working at a traditional PT clinic and very quickly realized that that was not for me. I started a dance medicine program while I was there, but it was still in the insurance-based system and was not working for me. No insurance company cared if a dancer couldn't go on point. Could they walk? Great. They're discharged. And that was about it. And it just really wasn't for me or the people that I was hoping to serve. So in the scariest moment of my life, I quit my job. I took a PRN position with a home care company and then started On Point Wellness and Rehab on the side. The name On Point Wellness and Rehab actually came from a blog that I had started, a wellness blog, way back in, 2016, I guess it was. And the name just kind of stuck. And I still have that same blog to this day, which I will gladly link for you in the show notes. And in the beginning, I was really just traveling to dancers' homes and their studios. And over the course of the past 8 years, I've worked my way up to be able to eventually build my own space. And I have amazing partnerships with so many of the local studios in the area at this point. And I like to say that I have become the go-to dance specialist in this area, which I'm really, really proud of. And the thing is, all of that's great. And I'm super happy with where I have brought my business to this day. But I still want to reach more of you. I want to reach more dancers. There's so many out there that have no idea that it's even possible to be healthy and still have a thriving career. Over time, I have seen so many common patterns with injuries and burnout occurring in dancers. And more importantly, I've seen how proper education and care can completely turn things around. So my goal is to bring that knowledge to as many of you as possible and give you actionable steps to build a healthy career and, most importantly, empower you to listen to your body and perform at your best. So let's change gears just a little bit and chat about what dance medicine really is, because I do think that there's many of you that don't even know that it is something that exists. So at its core, dance medicine is a multidisciplinary field focused on the health and well-being of dancers. You'll find all types of health professionals that fall under the dance medicine umbrella. It could be physical therapists, chiropractors, nutritionists, sports psychologists, researchers, and all of our specialty is knowing how to meet the unique demands of dancers within our field of expertise. Unlike traditional sports medicine, dance medicine considers not only the physical demands, but also we have to consider the artistry that is dance. It acknowledges that dancers aren't just athletes, they're also artists. And this means that we take into account all things like turnouts, extension, the repetitive nature of certain movements that has to happen in the dance world, and figuring out how do we balance all the function with aesthetics. One of the biggest misconceptions that I encounter is that dance medicine is only for injured dancers, and that could not be farther from the truth. While injury management is a key part of what we do, dance medicine is also about prevention, optimizing performance, helping dancers build more resilience, and it deals with both the physical and mental side of things. I am of the camp that I really believe that you should have a team of people in your corner, especially if you want to go far in this career. Find yourself a physical therapist, put them on speed dial, and check in with them regularly. I promise you it will change the entire course of your career. If you do need help finding a specialist in your area, I would urge you to check out Doctors for Dancers. I'll link their information in the show notes, but it's the perfect online resource for you to link you up with different types of dance specialists in your area. All right, now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk a little bit more about what's coming up on Unchoreographed. Each week, we're going to tackle a new topic that's vital to your growth and well-being as a dancer. Many episodes will feature interviews with experts, physical therapists, nutritionists, psychologists, and we're even going to throw in some professional dancers who have faced their own challenges and come out stronger. We are going to cover topics like how to reduce common injuries that we see in the dance world, how to recover from these common injuries, nutrition strategies, how can you fuel your performance. We're going to cover mental resilience and overcoming things like performance anxiety. And of course, my very favorite thing to talk about, but lots of information on cross-training and how to be strong as a dancer, and so many more things in between. Every episode, we're going to pack with evidence-based advice and practical tips that you can start using right away. My goal is to empower you with knowledge so that you can take charge of your health and longevity in dance. It's not just about surviving, it is about thriving and building a career that lasts and a body that can handle the hard demands that are dance. So I hope that you are excited to go on this little journey with me. I, for one, cannot wait to bring you all this information. I really hope that you guys will listen in each week, and I know that you will get a ton out of it. Before we fully wrap up, I want to make sure that you know how much I want to hear from you. Tell me all about it. What challenges are you facing? What topics do you want to see from me? Who are the guests that you want to hear from? Please connect with me, and I will do my best to address all of your questions in future episodes. I truly want this podcast to be a space that answers all of those burning questions that you have as dancers. And again, maybe some conversations that are uncomfortable that nobody else is really talking about. I will link all of my contact information below for you in the show notes, but the best place to get in touch with me is usually through Instagram at Dr. Jenna Loewer. I also have a clinic page, which is at On Point Wellness. A lot of you guys may know me as at On Point Wellness because that for a long time was my handle, but recently, just making some changes, I decided to switch to my actual name. So that's where I'm going to be most active, and you guys can connect with me easiest over there. So if you are as excited about this as I am, please make sure to subscribe to Unchoreographed wherever it is that you're listening to this podcast. And if you find the episodes helpful, please do me a favor and leave a review. It really does help me reach more dancers who need this information. And like I said, if you're connecting with me, feel free to put a question in those reviews as well, and I will do my best to answer all of your questions as we go through this process together. So thank you so much for joining me on this first episode. I'm so excited to start this journey with you. And remember, every dancer's path is unique. It's okay if things don't always go as planned. Let's just embrace these unchoreographed moments of life and turn them into some amazing opportunities. So until next time, stay healthy, stay inspired, and stay unchoreographed.